Alright, so I'm just going to come right out and say it. This Direct was a massive disappointment, and this is coming fresh off the heels of watching the Direct. The Direct ended about 10 minutes ago. I haven't really seen any of the reaction in the YouTube comments. I haven't seen any of the reaction really on Twitter, but I imagine most people are going to be disappointed with this. With the announcement of Pikmin 4, I imagine Pikmin fans are going to be really excited, but with that being said, most of the things that we were supposed to get excited about, we didn't see much footage of. They did show us a little bit more of Bayonetta 3, they gave us a date, but we've kind of had an idea of when that was supposed to come out for a while now, so that wasn't terribly exciting. And if you're a big Fire Emblem fan, you're probably excited about the way this Direct opened. Based on the Fire Emblem trailer, I thought we were in for a massive Direct. I also got to acknowledge the pink elephant in the room. The fact that we didn't get any of the remasters that Jeff Grubb talked about is extremely disappointing. Usually, he's decently accurate, but there's no Metroid Prime remaster, at least in the Direct. These things could materialize eventually, but we've been hearing about the Metroid Prime remaster for months and months now. Most of the year, we've been hearing about the Metroid Prime remaster. So the fact that it's not coming out on the holiday like it was promised in that leak, or at least if it wasn't announced in this Direct, which kind of makes me think we're not actually going to get a Metroid Prime remaster this year. So no Metroid Prime remaster, the Zelda remasters of Twilight Princess and Wind Waker didn't materialize. I gotta be honest, this was one of the most, if not the most, disappointing Nintendo Directs for me personally that I've ever witnessed. It's a little bit frustrating when you see games like Final Fantasy or other games getting like a DDR version of a game where those franchises are already saturated with content, while franchises like Star Fox, Kid Icarus, Donkey Kong, and F-Zero continue to be neglected for years and years. And so overall, I think it was pretty disappointing. Some of the highlights would be GoldenEye. How unexpected was that? The lineup of Nintendo 64 games that we will be getting, that is actually really impressive. All three Mario Party games, that's super exciting, but GoldenEye was the one that just had everybody shook. I didn't think that was going to happen because of all the licensing rights with the movies, with the actors and that sort of thing. So I imagine Nintendo had to put in a lot of legwork in order to make the GoldenEye release a possibility, especially when you consider the fact that Rare is now owned by Microsoft. But ultimately, it's coming to the Nintendo Switch. I am super excited. This is the first time I will ever be able to play GoldenEye 64 with friends online, and that alone is really, really exciting. Breath of the Wild, eventually we got to see that. That was a pretty good way to close out what was a disappointing Nintendo Direct. We now know that it's not called Breath of the Wild 2. I mean, we knew there was going to be an official title. Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. Based on the title, it kind of makes sense now why they delayed the Direct for the UK. I mean, that would have just seemed super insensitive, so it makes sense why they delayed it now. But the footage looks beautiful, looks absolutely amazing. The thing is, we're not going to be getting it until May. And originally this game was talked about releasing at the end of 2022, then we heard spring of 2023, and now it's May of 2023. So that's pretty rough. So at least we have a date now, at least we know when we're going to be getting the game. I am very much looking forward to it. There's also the Mario Rabbids game, which was nice to see. I'm backtracking a little bit here, but I was surprised that there was no original Smash Brothers in the Nintendo 64 releases. I was surprised when we got the initial batches of Nintendo 64 games that they didn't have Smash, but now that we're getting all the Mario Party games, we're getting GoldenEye, and still no original Super Smash Brothers, that's a little bit puzzling. I don't know why that's the case. I absolutely love that game. I have some of my fondest memories of the Nintendo 64 are of the original Super Smash Brothers, so I wish that we'd be getting that. Hopefully that's coming up at some point, but honestly I think we should have had it by now. We also got the Mario Kart 8 DLC tracks that will be dropping in December. We only saw 2 of the 8, but of the 2, those are some great classics. A couple of them are going to be really fun to race on 200cc, so I personally can't wait for that. I think those are going to be tons of fun. It's a little bummer that we only saw 2 of them, but it makes sense because Nintendo is going to want to do their own specific hype videos for the other 6 tracks to really get everybody excited about those coming out. With that being said, the Mario Kart tracks, they're all on schedule. They're releasing a batch of 8 tracks every 4 months, all the way through December of 2023, and by that point, they'll have kept their promise. We'll have had all the tracks by the end of 2023. So let me know in the comments section what you thought of this Nintendo Direct. Clearly, I was disappointed with it. With that being said, I don't think it was a complete loss. Honestly, I gotta apologize to you guys because the last couple videos I've made on this channel were talking about the Zelda remasters, the Metroid remasters, which I'm still hoping materialize. And honestly, I do believe those are still a thing. I don't believe these rumors were made up, but we were heavily led to believe by the leaks that they were coming in this upcoming Direct, and that didn't end up happening. So apologies for that one. Fingers crossed that they still end up happening. Again, I think that the Direct was a disappointment, but there's still some positive to take away from it, especially if you're a Pikmin fan, if you're a Fire Emblem fan. For me personally, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom has me really excited, although it is quite a ways off, and GoldenEye will be awesome. I will definitely be streaming that one on my Twitch channel, but we have more Zelda content to talk about, so be paying attention to that, and I guess with the lack of Metroid content, I'll start dipping into the lore for that one a little bit more. Thanks for watching as always. Make sure to like and subscribe for more Nintendo content, and I will see you guys in the next video.